So very good evening to one and all. Good evening children. Today, welcome to the e-learning class. Today we are going to discuss about second year economics. Second year economics of the chapter agriculture sector. In agriculture sector, today we are going to discuss about the last topic, that is food security. Okay. So now, what is food security? What was the need that this food security or the Food Security Act was implemented in our country, and also about the various legislations that were made under this security, food security. Food security. The definition for the food security, children: ensuring that all people at all times have both physical and economic access to basic food they need. What does it mean? That it is an assurance that all the people at all times, they should have physical access to food, economic access to food, which at least basic food what they are in need. Compulsory, what we find, all people, they should have at all the times physical access of basic food, economic access of basic food. They should get the food, and that should be under their what you call purchasing power. That is food security. Okay, food should be secure to provide all the needy people that they can purchase it or they can get it at a low cost. So, food self-sufficiency. Why this idea of food security? It emerged in our country, emerged before the government. Why this question was raised that the food security should be there in the country. So children, in the year 1966 to 1968, as already I explained you children, remember that being an agriculture country, India suffered a lot. Being an agriculture country, India suffered a lot in the shortage of food due to the various disasters. Sometimes drought, sometimes floods, sometimes one or the other, what you call like earthquake or the other natural disasters. Because of this, we lack in the production of food grains. And it was a year 1966, 65 and 66. We discussed this one in our annual plans also. Remember, in 5-year planning system. During this time, there was a severe drought in the country. There was a severe drought, a severe famine occurred in the country. And India, that time the developed country and the most powerful bloc in India approached to US, United States. That time the working president was by the name Johnson. Johnson was there. They asked Johnson to provide the food aid. But Mr. Johnson, the president of India, he kept restrictions. He kept restrictions on the food aid to India under PL 480 program. Under PL 480 program. So, under this one public law of 480 program, he made sure that India should not get any help from America. Now, this was a very toughest time, children, for the country. Being an agricultural country, we people, we were just depending on the other countries of the world to supply us food. How shame it is, first of all. Then, at the time, what happened? The Prime Minister of India, the working Prime Minister of India by the name Srimati Indira Gandhi. Srimati Indira Gandhi. Indira Gandhi, she was a Prime Minister of India that time. She introduced, it was felt a very a shameful thing. So she introduced seed water fertilizer program. Seed water fertilizer program. Later, this was called as Green Revolution. This program was started by Srimati Indira Gandhi. When 1965-66, this program was launched, and in 1977, launched in 1966, 1976, India turned as self-sufficient in food grains. What do you mean by this self-sufficient in the food grains? That means now no need to depend on other countries of the world. We were having enough food. Self-sufficiency in the food grain. The food grain production, it increased, children, during the years 1950 to 1951. The food grain production of India, it was 50 million tons. It was 50 million tons. That increased, children, because of this. In 2018 and 19, the food grain production increased in the country about 285 million tons. Is it not a great achievement, children, that we got it, children, because of seed, water, fertilizer program? Who introduced it? Srimati Indira Gandhi. Why she introduced? Because President Johnson of America, he restricted to supply food to the country. So by this way, children, we became a self-sufficient in the food grains. Then the next topic for us, children, it is about the measures to promote food security in India. I hope it is clear, children, now. The next topic for us is measures to promote food security in India. Topic is measures to promote food security in India. So there were certain measures were taken, and especially 3 important measures were taken, children. The first measure was PDS, second was ICDS, third was MDM. These 3 measures were taken by our Indian government. So now, what is PDS? Children, you know very well about PDS. So, PDS full form, children, Public Distribution System. You know very well. In 10th class, you learned already about Public Distribution System and Food Security lesson. Public Distribution System. That means food grains are supplied, children, with fair prices. Food grains are supplied, children, with fair prices through fair, shops, children. That is through ration shops. Fair prices through ration shops, called as Public Distribution System. What is this system, children? No need to explain to you. You know very well. You all know that under the Public Distribution System, the government do a lot of work, children. Government first fix the minimum support price to the farmers. Now there is a hot issue, you know very well that farmers strike is going on, children, throughout India, and especially at Delhi, children. So government first fix the minimum support price, then government fix the procurement, then receive that all those food grains, children, from the farmers. Then it's supplied to the FCI, Food Corporation of India, and from there, children, it's supplied to the various PDS centers, Public Distribution System, various ration shops. And in the ration shops, these food grains are supplied at very lowest rate, children, very lowest rate, like 1 rupee kg per rice, the cereals, pulses, dals, the people sugar, they are getting all these one, children. So it is nothing but, children, it is a security to the poor people, security of food to the poor people at a very lower cost. That is food grains through the fair price shops. Now, what is ICDS? Integrated Child Development Service. ICDS, Integrated Child Development service. Integrated Child Development Service. Under this service, children, the school children are given, the preschool children. Under this preschool children, they get all the food. They are given free food. Means the children who are not coming to the school, they are getting free food. What is that area? That is through Anganwadi. That is ICDS. Preschool means those who are not there in the school. Now, after this one, MDM. You are very well know about this one, children. That is midday meal program of the government. So in this one, school going children, they get the free food at lunch. They get free lunch at their school. So children, these are the measures to promote the food security children in the country. I hope it is clear. PDS, ICDS, then MDM. Children, keep it everything in your mind. This is very important one, children, for your examination point of view. I hope it is clear. Now, after this one, the next topic for us, it is about food security legislation. It is about food security legislation, means the laws that are related to the food security. Okay. So from when onwards we are following all these legislations and everything, children, we have to discuss. So food security legislation. Next topic for us is food security legislation. Topic is food security legislation. 2013, government enacted National Food Security Act. Government enacted National Food Security Act was passed by the government. National Food Security Act that gives legal entitlement. Gives legal entitlement. That gives legal entitlement to 67% of population. 67% of population to receive subsidized food grains. To receive subsidized food grains. This is food security legislation. I hope you are understanding. So under this one, children, under this act, food grains are given. Under this act, children, food grains are given to the people like 5 kg per person, 35 kg per family, and under Antodaya. Antodaya is a poverty reduction program, children. Antodaya Anna Yojana. Anna Yojana. This is specially meant for below poverty line children. The food grains are given at rupees 1, rupees 2 and rupees 3 respectively. This is Antodaya Anna Yojana. I hope it is clear. So this is what, children? This is the food security legislation. So according to this food security legislation, children, I hope it is clear now. According to this legislation, children, every state, every region, that they followed this one, and now we find that in the year 2011, in the year 2000, according to this act, children, now 81.35 crores of people are covered under this National Food Security Act. Okay. So what is this, children, in this one? Again, the three things you remember, children. Maternity Benefit Act, if you remember, already we discussed, where a pregnant woman before and after before and after deliveries of 6 months, they received free food. They received free food from Anganwadi. This one is already we discussed, the children, from Anganwadi. Then followed by, children, second one is children of 6 months. Children of 6 months to 6 years receive free food again from Anganwadi. The last one you know very well, midday meal. 6 to 14 years of children, they receive free lunch. They receive free lunch at school under the midday meal program. So this is, children, about food security program. Now, children, after learning this one, what we find, whether all the areas are having all these facilities. So it is mentioned that if the government fail to enable this food security to the eligible people, in that case, it is a duty of the government to pay the allowance, food security allowance. Means if the government is unable to provide them food grains, government at least should pay them the amount that they can purchase the food grains from the outside, from the other areas. So this is a lesson, children, agriculture sector, and with this topic we completed our 5th chapter, food security. We completed our 5th chapter. In our next class, we'll meet, children, with the 6th chapter, industrial sector. Okay, you know your work. Your work is read the lesson, go through this video, read the lesson, follow the material, and complete your works. By that time, thank you one and all. Thank you, children.